If you can raise your prices by 15%, you're doubling your profit. And I see so many people give up in home services without ever pulling the last lever that could double their profit. Because there's this constant treadmill of growing instead of just like, whoa, I actually don't need to be on this treadmill. I just need to raise my prices. Immediately, you will be validated by the fact that only a few percentage points of your customers leave if you've done good service. And then this is the next slippery slope is like, well, we're not doing very good right now. Like we are kind of falling behind and there's a lot of unhappy customers. If we raise our prices, great. Let's lose 30% of our customers. All right. By the way, have yet to see anyone raise prices and lose 30% of customers, even my worst performing locations that are weeks behind on mowing. 30% has never happened. I've seen 24% on a business that had been literally not mowing lawns for 4 weeks, right? And then they raise prices. So let's assume 30%. You lose 30% of your customers. All right. Now no one's working overtime. But now you have raised prices, but let's call it 15%. So you're going to do 85% as much revenue as last year. You're going to be twice as profitable. Your guys are going to be able to not work overtime. That's when you're not profitable. Like if guys are working overtime in this industry, you're not making money. And so we need to get out of that as fast as possible. So if you're like, well, everyone's working about 5 hours overtime. Okay, you're 10% over capacity. You need to lose 10% of your customers immediately. And so if the goal is to make more money, then we need to think about business in a different way, which is we perform a service satisfactory enough with a high enough value to raise prices. That's the goal. And so I'm going to do a high enough value service. I'm going to have good enough customer service, satisfaction, quality, et cetera, just enough so I can raise prices. And then I'm going to work on that. I'm going to make the website better. I'm going to improve my training. I'm going to improve my quality so that next year when I hit capacity, I can raise prices again. That's the goal of business if you're trying to make more money. And so when it comes to finding a general manager, I do believe there are different general managers that need to be brought into a business.